Hi, and welcome to Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Danielson and episode 34. I've already been doing that long. That's good. I hope that everybody has been enjoying my tennis podcast here. And today, basically, what I'm going to be doing is going to be kind of covering this recent U.S. Open tennis and just the congratulations of Coco Gauff and beating Aryna Sabalenka, and then Novak Djokovic beating Daniil Medvedev. Both actually were history in the making with this year's U.S. Open, which really made it, and it was a very, very good U.S. Open tournament. A lot of upsets, a lot of men in the men's draw, a lot of American men in the men's draw, which really did help this year. And it's really on the upswing with the Americans joining the ranks of the upper echelon of tennis. A few retirements. Big John Isner, he's ended up retiring after 20 years in playing tennis. This was his last hurrah and retired. And then also Jack Sock, which has actually been on the circuit for a long time, been injury prone and stuff. But he actually retired because he's going to be going into professional pickleball. And he's really a good player in pickleball. And I've seen some tournament that he was in. He didn't win the singles, but he got really close to the final. But he did win the mixed doubles pro in pickleball with a gal. And both of them were really good. And they won that event for the mixed doubles. So, yeah, he's a very good pickleball player, and he's going to go pro pickleball. One of the other guys that on the men's tour that went pro pickleball, who is it? The name skips me right now, but I might come back with that. Anyway, along with that, I just wanted to kind of make a little comment that history in the making also with the women's singles final that was played. There was actually the most viewers of a women's final ever in tuning into it, in the most ever watched final and most ever for ESPN. And it was 4.3 million people tuned in to the women's final of the U.S. Open for the women. Now, also, what history also made with the women's was, and really, actually, a lot of people were giving Aryna Sabalenka odds-on favorite to win because she had been playing. She hits the ball so hard, and has been really playing very well on with her game, and actually played Madison Keys in the semis, and then Madison Keys played really good the first set, and Aryna ended up calming down and just started pounding the ball. Was consistent and woke up and kept hitting the balls, and they kept going in, and she ended up winning in 3 sets. Now, also along with that too, that was the odds-on favorite to win against Coco Gauff. But Coco Gauff recently has just hired coach Brad Gilbert to be on the team, which Brad Gilbert is a longtime tennis player and a longtime coach, coached Andre Agassi. And he also then started coaching Coco Gauff and then brought the calmness to Coco Gauff. And also, you don't have to go hard and kill everything to try to win a match. So she calmed her down and got her more focused, and seems to be working out with the both of them very well for coaching. And then Coco Gauff ended up losing the first set, and then she ended up then coming back and winning the second set and also the third set. But the only thing is that Aryna, no matter how hard or where she kept hitting it, Coco was so fast in anticipation and getting to shots that she was getting many shots in tennis in her game against Aryna, and kept getting the ball back, making Aryna think, I have to hit one more. So then Aryna started hitting, going for too much, and started hitting the ball wide or long or whatever into the net. So Coco ended up winning the US Open. She actually won it at 19 years old, but actually made history because she's the only other youngest player to win out of before her, still in her teens at 19, won the US Open. Only other team to do that was Serena Williams at 17 years old when she won the US Open at 17. So kind of similarities there, and record breaking in that respect for that tennis match. And Coco Gauff really played very well and very good. And congrats to Coco Gauff. Also with that too, on the men's side, when Novak Djokovic beat Daniil Medvedev, he was pursuing record-breaking 24 to tie Margaret Court's record of most majors won. And with that, he actually kind of came back to prove everything. He won all three of the events this year, Australian, French, and he got beat at Wimbledon by Alcaraz, but later got revenge against Alcaraz in Cincinnati, which was one of the best 3-set matches I've ever seen. And lost 3-6, then won 7-6, 7-6. And it was just unbelievable tennis. And it kept up for 3 hours and 50 minutes, and Djokovic won. And then he came back to the US Open, which he was not in last year because they didn't, anybody that wasn't vaxxed, they didn't want to be in the tournament, and he didn't come, or he got kicked, whatever. There's something that was not right, and he couldn't play last year. So he came back with a vengeance to prove things, and he played, kind of regulated his schedule, and then he ended up playing very well as far as that goes. With that, made it through the draw, really not without any too much difficulty with that, and ended up then playing Daniil Medvedev from the 2019 final, where Djokovic was going for the Grand Slam, which Daniil Medvedev ended up beating him and ruining that streak. However, I think the reason, and then Djokovic is just so good and keeps the ball going in and keeps it back so very good. And so the thing is with that too, is I think that Daniil Medvedev he played Rublev in a long 3-set match in 100-degree plus heat, and it was brutal out there. And I think he was kind of a little bit tired from that, but Djokovic ended up beating Medvedev in 3 sets, 6-3, 7-6, 6-3. And so, he ended up very good, ended up making 24 titles and Grand Slams. And congratulations to Novak Djokovic for doing so. Very good congratulations for him. Very, very well. And now they're in the midst of Davis Cup. And, I can probably cover that a little bit next week, or unless I have a phone interview or something like that. However, with that, I just want to say that you YouTubers, you can go to my YouTube and subscribe and make comments. Just let me know about that stuff, what you like, what you'd like to hear me say. With that, please do. And I like that. Then you podcasters, you're going to hear and see my racket of the day that's going to be coming up. And what I want you to do, and if you want to see what I'm talking about, you can then see that by going to my YouTube channel at Tennis Volley Talk and subscribe and and leave a comment. Let me know what you like about the podcast or whatever. With that, would muchly appreciate that. So please do that and get back to me for you podcasters and you YouTubers. So with that, I want to bring you here with the racket of the day, which is actually, it's a Dunlop racket. Dunlop. and it's endorsed by Marty Riessen, a tennis pro back in the 60s to the 80s. And he endorsed this racket, the Dunlop racket. And actually, somewhere along the way, the Dunlop racket was actually made, it was made in Japan to Dunlop specifications. So evidently Dunlop had a factory in Japan that they made the rackets, but then they got them back into the US and then sold them at sporting goods stores and the Dunlop sporting goods stores with this. So it's endorsed by Marty Riessen, and this is probably right around about the 60s, or, early 60s, 60 to the 70s, in that era when this was made and this was endorsed by Marty Riessen. Maybe just a slightly, in that area, to have this this racket here, as far as endorsing it. And like I said, it's probably 60s, 70s racket, at least, that he was endorsing the racket with that, Dennis Ralston. Many accomplishments in his tennis career too. But I just wanted to let you know. So you YouTubers, you're seeing it right now with this. You podcasters, if you want to go look at the racket, go to if you podcasters go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, if you want to see what I'm talking about. Dunlop racket, very good shape still, and has a picture endorsed by Marty Riessen right there. And there's his autograph right there. And so very good racket, still in good shape for a Dunlop racket that old. And so just go to that. For you podcasters, go to the YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and then take a look at what I'm talking about if you want to take a look at what I'm talking about. And then you YouTubers, of course, then you can go to the YouTube and you're seeing what I'm talking about right now. And so like, subscribe, and also for you podcasters, like, subscribe. If you like what I'm talking about, please do get back with a comment and let me know one way or the other what you want me to do. What else? Do you like the phone interviews? Do you like that stuff? What I've done with the phone interviews or in-house guest or whatever. I just want to let me know. I would always appreciate a comment or a like or even a subscribe. Please get people to listen, subscribe, because I'd like to get as many as I can, as more. Please do, and I would appreciate that very much for you to do that for me. And then also with that, with a little bit of that, you then, with that, it's kind of the fact that I have with the Dunlop, as far as the Dunlop goes, Dunlop has been involved, really, actually, started out and had been involved with the rubber tire business in the late 19th century. Founder John Boyd Dunlop from Ireland, actually, 1840 to 1921, constructed the first pneumatic tire, air-filled tire. Got a patent for it, the tire for the car tire, actually, in 1888. A year later, he made a company to manufacture, founded a company to manufacture pneumatic bicycle tires too. Dunlop started out with tennis balls in 1923, along with the tennis rackets too, in 1923. So about 100 years ago. And the rackets started out with the Max Ply wood racket that was more famous with the Rod Laver that played with that racket too, and used by Rod Laver, and he endorsed that racket, the Dunlop Max Ply. And then with that, they also started going in the 50s. Then they pushed the boundaries a little bit and introduced the first metal rackets. But prior to that, they were all made of wood rackets at that time. In the 70s and 80s, they pushed the boundaries more and introduced the graphite rackets, which the people are playing with now, and the more composite rackets, lighter rackets, made them stronger, getting stronger, lighter rackets. And it continues to be the leader of the world with the tennis rackets, along with the tennis balls, with Dunlop balls. So that is another thing with that, that kind of the manufacturer of Dunlop. That's kind of a little bit about Dunlop and what their sporting goods and manufacturing did. And that's kind of how it got started with that. So always a good thing, celebrating 100 years of tennis, starting out with tennis balls first and then into the tennis rackets, and through all the 100 years that they've been doing tennis rackets. Now, also with Marty Riessen, also, he was a former player, active from the 60s to the 80s. He turned pro in 68, amateur from 58 to 68. He was an amateur, collegiate tennis player at Northwestern University. He reached the NCAA singles finals 3 times in 62, following to Rafael Osuna, and then of the University of Southern California, 63 and 64 to Dennis Ralston of USC, both times. But NCAA doubles champion in 63 and 64, when he did that with Clark Grabner, which was also an American tennis, Garbner. He was an American tennis player also. He won 6 titles in the Open era, Cincinnati in 74, actually, plus 2 others in Cincinnati in the pre-Open era. With that, he reached the quarterfinals of Australian and U.S. Open also, and he won the 53 doubles titles, including U.S. Open in 71 with Arthur Ashe, of all things. Arthur Ashe. So that was really an accomplishment in being able to play alongside Arthur Ashe. Unbelievable. That would have been such an experience to do. And with that too, and then 7 ATP Masters Series, Paris Indoor 76, and then Canada in 70-71, Monte Carlo then in 70, and then in Hamburg, actually in 69, 68 and 69 also in Hamburg, Germany, and then Rome in 68, and then he reached the doubles finals of the U.S. Open in 78, Australian, and then Australian, and then in 71, and Wimbledon in 1969. So that's kind of an accomplished career for Marty Riessen as far as his tennis career goes. So that's he was a very accomplished tennis player. Played with a variety of different players over the years, from the 60s to the 80s. And he's somewhere about 84 nowadays, is when how old he is. And he's a very good tennis player. But I just wanted to say, yeah, you podcasters, if you want to see what I'm talking about with my racket of the day, go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk. Look at what I'm talking about. Please subscribe. Leave a comment, please, and just let me know what you like as far as what you hear, as far as the phone interviews and what I've been doing with my podcast. And then leave a comment and subscribe and like. And then you YouTubers, you see what I'm talking about. With the racket of the day, and please go there, subscribe, like, comment, please. Again, let me know what you think and what you like. I would just appreciate that very much. So thank you very much again for this week, for letting me come to you and talk about what I like and what I love doing and playing tennis. And this week, it's still nice out there in a lot of states. So this week, have a good week playing, and enjoy the week playing. And thank you, and have a very good week playing. Thank you. Have a good week.